Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Capes and Commentaries podcast, the show where we take some of our favorite cartoons, give you a commentary, and a little more. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about Dick Tracy, which, oddly enough, Disney looks at as a failure. But at the time, to me, especially as a kid, and we'll get into it as we watch the movie, that just doesn't make sense to me. I'm Nathan Kennedy, joined by Tyler Baker. Tyler, to me, this was almost on the same, maybe not quite there, but at the time, to me anyway, it was like Batman '89.
Yeah.
You couldn't go anywhere without seeing Dick Tracy. We had the promotional tie-in, toy line. And box office wise, it did pretty good.
Yeah,
but Disney always, and they still do that to this day. That it's like, if it doesn't make $1 billion, it's a failure, and I don't understand that.
I think a lot of it came down to, and when I got to meet Flat Top himself, William Forsythe, a few years ago, and I asked him about what it was like with all the promotion that they did for the movie, and how overwhelming it was to see your face used on like so many pieces of merchandise and things, and then it kind of ties into that. But Disney spent so much money on advertising and merchandising the film that when the film came out, it did well. But to kind of make up for all the money they spent on the advertising and merchandising, it didn't meet that requirement. So therefore, in their eyes, it didn't do as they had hoped, because they were expecting to be like Batman, because it was like a hyped up, anticipated summer blockbuster with a simple ad campaign, like "I'm on my way" with the silhouette of Dick Tracy, and it was it seemed like this is like the next big summer hit that's going to capture the entire summer, and with the McDonald's tie-in, the action figures, some Playmates, and various other tie-ins and things like that, and it just kind of, it's, in my eyes, it was a giant success, because I walked out of the movie theater blown out of my mind. I couldn't wait to get my hands on the action figures, the McDonald's scratch tickets, the trading cards that were put out. I had a Dick Tracy lunchbox. I really wanted the light up watch that actually didn't do anything, but it looked like I could turn it on and like talk to Sam Catchem. I wanted all that.
I had it.
Yes, of course. Like all the
and my dad used to play Sam Catchem too, so I would sit there and like radio to him. And we actually also, I want to say mine was like a radio,
more like the actual.
Yes,
because they released that kind of orange band with the kind of like just the light up watch that.
All right, then no, I had the real deal then. Because I could actually because I remember actually like hitting the button and talking to my dad, because it came with the watch, and I want to say it had like another just regular walkie-talkie, if I'm not mistaken. As we go through, maybe I'll kind of Google search it and see the specifics of it. But I do remember vividly he would go in the other room, and I would sit there and radio to him. It was like, oh yeah, we got blah blah blah. He would come running into the living room, and I dressed up as Dick Tracy for Halloween that year that the movie came out, and John went as RoboCop, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think I'd seen the outfit, I definitely would have, but I think I went as the Joker, I think, that year.
Well, I mean, there wasn't much to the outfit. It was just having
the trench coat and the hat,
and the hat was just like shitty, like plastic that would break if you just barely touched it.
Yeah.
But I liked it, and I love this movie. The colors, and it's just kind of one of those films. And obviously Warren Beatty, a strong driving force, stars, directs, and basically in a way kind of finance. He's the main reason this thing even got off the ground.
Yeah, he was pushing for it for years to get this thing off the ground.
And he owns the rights to Dick Tracy, so. To see that, obviously, is a popular comic back in the 40s. Am I an asshole about this? Is my information wrong? I'm sure someone will correct us at some point. But
it was an old comic strip that was taken quite seriously. Like, it wasn't like camped up or anything. It was like serious for the most part, and what it was trying to do. Like, it was serious comic strips of crime stories with all the various gangsters that were a lot of them that were featured in this movie were featured in those comic strips, even Breathless Mahoney and things like that too. So, and then there was a cartoon series that came on.
I remember that.
Yeah, I used to rent that on VHS. After the movie came out, they released the cartoons on VHS in various volumes. So I used to go to 2 Thumbs Up Video and rent them.
Hell yeah!
To get my fix of Dick Tracy. But I was upset because Dick Tracy was just kind of sending these various deputies on duty, like this Australian-speaking bulldog, Jiu-Jitsu, and this goofy-ass redheaded cop who was, a dumbass, but they were all after Prune Face, Itchy, Flat Top, Mumbles. But Dick Tracy's behind the desk just, saying, Jiu-Jitsu, Flat Top's on the loose, go get him. I'm like, why isn't Dick Tracy going out and getting these guys? So, but it was cool because to me, it was always about the villains. The villains was one of the biggest selling points for me as a kid. I thought they looked fascinating. It was my introduction to the Tommy gun in general, and still remains to this. I'm not a gun enthusiast or anything like that, but that Tommy gun was just like, just to be able to hold like a toy Tommy gun, which I got to once as a kid. It was amazing to feel like I could be like Dick Tracy taking on Itchy and Flat Top. Oh, so cool. But it was as we'll get into, we kind of talk about like the toys and stuff. So let's kickstart this because it's getting late. We did the bullshit we always do where we set a time to start the show and then you and I just talk about everything else. And then we've lost like an hour or almost like 30 minutes to 40 minutes just talking and like, oh yeah, we got a podcast to do. So yeah, one of these days maybe we should just do a format where I just hit the button and you and I just start talking about anything. We just bullshit, and if you like it, hang with us. If not, just fast forward.
Go to hell or whatever Tyler says all the time.
Yeah. You're entitled to skip all the bullshit and get to the meat of the podcast. So, but let's get this thing going here, dude.
All right, give us a countdown.
3, 2, 1, action. I miss the Touchstone logo.
I do too, and it's a nice touch here having it in black and white.
Well,
yeah. Black and gray.
Yeah. And I like the music, like slowly begins here, and I'm out with Danny Elfman's score.
Yeah.
God, it's a great score.
He was sort of like the king of that early 90s time period. He had so many heavy hitters come out like all in a row.
He did Scrooge, Beetlejuice, Batman, Dick Tracy, Edward Scissorhands, Batman Returns, like all these, well-received films, big films. There's the infamous watch. God, I would love to have I don't wear watches, but if I came across like an actual watch that looked like the Dick Tracy watch, I would wear that in a heartbeat.
I'm sure mine's around somewhere still.
Like the font there.
Yeah.
Like all these bright colors, like that beautiful bright yellow. Yeah. Canary yellow.
Yeah, that is the huge appeal to me of this movie. Like just the colors that were used. And everything just pops.
Yeah, all this as we see the pan of the city. I mean, it's all extended by like matte paintings and stuff, but God, it looks beautiful. Look at all this. And it when I watched this as a kid, as an adult, you see it's clearly paintings, but you see the train going through there. But it just adds so much depth to this town that all these gangsters reside in. You got the various gangs going on, and Dick Tracy is trying to save this entire city. And you see the list of
this is like an all-star cast.
It really is. And this was my first experience to James Caan, Dustin Hoffman, Warren Beatty, Al Pacino, William Forsythe. I knew who Madonna was before going into this. She was like one of the few people I was aware of. I think even as like a 5-year-old boy, it was kind of hard to not know who Madonna was.
Right.
Yeah.
And not feel like weird. And I was like oddly attracted to we'll talk more about Madonna.
There's nothing to be feel odd about her. Now, these guys as a kid, I found this gang to be very, very fascinating because they have some of the most interesting looks in the entire film. And I was excited but bummed as a kid that they all got killed immediately. And even though it was done by Flat Top, it was my favorite. I could not wait to see. He was the guy I was looking forward to seeing the most in this film. But these guys, the Rodent, the Stooge, Little Face, Shoulders, the Brow, and the Rodent, I just thought like, oh my God, these are some of the coolest looking gangsters.
Well, these guys did get a little extra love in the NES game, which people
I couldn't get out of the first stage. I couldn't get out of the damn car. I kept getting killed and couldn't control the damn thing.
You just got to hit select to get out, man. I remember it being difficult because that was the the game that I got with Ninja Turtles and Batman when I got my NES Christmas '89.
Boom! God, this was so exciting to see. Like, right off the bat, Gangster's dead immediately by the hands of Flat Top and Itchy. There he is. Oh boy, I was so pumped to see him. He just reeked of evil, and certain villains to me always appealed to me just as much as the heroes did. I just thought Flat Top was such a cool looking villain. Tommy got the sound of like just to be able to fire that. God, it would have been so cool.
Just want to aimlessly I don't care.
Just start shooting at stuff, and I just love the
writing a message with bullets.
Yeah, so cool. Like this was really my big introduction to gangsters in general was this film. So honestly, I would always pick this, even though I love Casino and Goodfellas is great. I would pick Dick Tracy over those any day because I have the most fun.
I would agree with that. I'm sure some people would be like, "Are you kidding?" Like, hey, we're not taking away from those other fantastic films, but like, this is an hour and 44 minutes, and it's just pure like constant entertainment. And I'm not now. People are going to be like, "You're just trying to say those aren't entertaining." It's like, no, I'm not. But eat lead, Tracy.
Yeah,
look how many bullets. Look how many bullets
how precise
took.
It was. Like Flat Top, he's an expert shootist. I mean, he's really really good. But those gangsters too. Like I remember, when I got the Brow figure and Derek had shoulders. I really wanted the rope, but I never got around to getting him. They never made a little face figure. I couldn't understand that. And I remember when I watched it, like his head looked enormous when you see it from the front because you couldn't quite see it in context. Like if you saw it further away, you can see how small the face was. But I'm like, they call him Little Face, but his head looks humongous. And you see it in the back of him, like, but his head looks like it blew. It was like a brain buster to me as a kid. Like I don't get it. Is his face really little, or is it really big? And God, I love these matte paintings. Oh, it's so cool.
Now I can get back to talking about Madonna here.
Oh yes.
I've told the story before that I was given the choice in the Roses department store of Madonna's album with like Dick Tracy on the cover. It wasn't as the soundtrack essentially. I think it's just she tied it in with her album that was coming out, or the Danny Elfman score from Batman. But I chose this because of her. And this is fucking gross, by the way.
Yeah. That's Paul Sorvino from Goodfellas there. I wrote like what Madonna doing her kind of like acting like someone's rubbing. I remember a guy we went to high school with, Rudy Mills, used to do that in 5th grade and 4th grade a lot. He used to just turn and just do it. It was funny as hell. God, it was.
The only thing I remember about Rudy Mills is being in PE class, and we were doing the health, the sex ed portion, and our PE teacher, we were going through the definitions, and he called out Rudy, and he was like, "Rudy, penis, please." And I was like, "What?" So I just always called him Rudy Penis from there on out.
I can't even imagine what. It is the voice of Bullock, Harvey Bullock from Batman the Animated Series, and the jerk off cop from Die Hard 2. Like his name escapes me, but yeah, Rudy, I can't imagine what Rudy's expression was to that because he just would make a face and you could laugh your ass off.
Right. He did have a very expression filled. He was very animated.
He really was. He's someone I could easily see as an entertaining personality in Hollywood or something because he had a very distinct look on his face and just funny.
Hey, you don't look like cops. Hey, Mandy Patinkin.
Yep. I just think that was a creepy shot of Flat Top sitting in the car. Yeah. How you lips? How you breathless? Let's go. Yeah, went Forsyth, man. He's just great.
And I always like these cars as well during that time period.
I was fascinated by the cars because I was one of the getaway car and the cop car as a kid too, and I don't recall ever seeing them in stores because I bought most of my Dick Tracy figures from Kmart because that was pretty much the go-to in Hills, and I bought some of them from Hills also. That's where I got Dick Tracy and the Brow was at Hills.
Surprisingly enough, I don't think I had any of the vehicles. And I honestly didn't have too many of the figures. I actually obtained most of them at the flea market a few years back. Got them with the the collector carrying case.
Yeah, that Playmates put out.
But also too, like the figures are very cheap.
Yeah, they're not too hard to obtain. It's if you get them in lost with the weapons and stuff, that's when you might be asking a little bit more. And that's understandable.
And the blank, of course, which
that
would be a great figure to have.
It would, but as a kid, I remember that was the one I was like, and I didn't understand. But I was told as a kid, because my buddy Matt for whatever reason, Matt was always in the know about stuff like this, and he said that the blank was released only in Canada.
Yeah.
I thought, shit, man. Like, so
which sucks because the blank was advertised on the back of the card.
Yeah, and they, it obviously wasn't released when we had it because they didn't want to spoil the reveal of the blank. But by the time the movie came out and everything, and they just felt like, well, the toys didn't do as well, so I think they were like a Sears exclusive in Canada or something like that, or just exclusive in Canada, which was rather heartbreaking to me as a kid, to not have the blank accessible or Little Face, the Stooge, Numbers was a gangster that wasn't released either.
And now we get to a controversial part where the Tramp figure got pulled from Walmart.
Well, my brother had the Tramp, and it was I remember seeing it available.
Well, it was Walmart that made the big fuss because of this scene right here,
which I thought was, when I found that, I'm like, God.
Yeah, all he did, he pushed him, but immediately
he gets his comeuppance. Yeah, which I loved as a kid. Like, Warren Beatty selling the punches here, great. I mean, he's just throwing fist and fist. I love the shot here with Rocky back and forth. That's so cool.
It's a nice touch.
It's
like you have that, and you have the matte painting. There's
it's beautiful.
So many good uses of the matte painting in this film.
I see the smoke from the smokestacks coming up. I mean, it establishes very quickly the alpha male that Dick Tracy is, which to me appealed to me as a kid. That's why characters like He-Man, Lion-O, Hulk Hogan, anything Arnold and Stallone did, like the alpha male was like, I want to be him, and immediately I wanted to be Dick Tracy, like right off the bat. It was just.
It sounded like you said big dick for a second.
Well, of course you would say that. Penis, please. You pervert.
The dick.
The dick is stacked against Hogan. Here he is.
Al Pacino's fantastic in this film.
And I was so glad to hear, because I didn't really hear until a few years later that he got nominated for an Oscar for this, which I'd like. It's good to know every so often the Oscar's not strictly like, oh, you got to play someone of a troubled background or something to get nominated for an Oscar. Like, you could play a character like this entertaining, off-the-wall gangster from a comic strip. You're like, you know what? That was really, really good. He at least deserves to be nominated for it.
Right. I like the fact that the Lips figure comes with like concrete shoes.
Yeah, which as a kid I didn't understand that. Like I didn't quite get that, because a lot of the looks of the figures were a bit different from the movie counterparts. Like, some of them weren't wearing coats; they were just kind of wearing like their under attire, like flat tops, not wearing the blazer, and the jacket. Neither is itchy, but the brow. Well, the brow's not wearing a coat either. But like the rodent looks like the character. Shoulders does. Sam Catchem and Dick Tracy are not wearing their coats, which always kind of bummed me. And they didn't come with Tommy guns.
It's kind of, when you think about it in a way, the movie is kind of dark. And
it is. That's why I feel like it's not given enough credit from people in general. Like, when people look at films like this and they kind of down it or demean it, there's Mumbles.
He's one of my favorite characters. I love the interrogation scene when we get to that a little later in the film.
Yeah, Madonna's got an amazing look here. I mean, she looks really. I mean, she's a beautiful woman here.
Yeah.
I mean, she's aged very well too. She looks great, but I was always about.
I love this too. I was just like, boom, gone, done.
Yeah. There's James Tolkien playing Numbers over there. Like, even like the no-name gangsters in the back, they all just have these colorful outfits. They all look like, there's some police officers that have been bought, and they're all carrying Tommy guns. Like, it just, like, to be an extra on that set would have been a real treat, just to stand in the background, wear a colorful gangster outfit, and carry a Tommy gun. I just think all the food
pumpkin pie, man.
And milk.
Did you ever like pumpkin pie?
Not as a kid, but I grew to love it now.
So you would actually eat it now? I
Oh,
usually
yeah.
only eat it around Thanksgiving. It's the only time I get to eat it.
If pumpkin, I love anything pumpkin, like pumpkin rolls, which my mom makes at least once a year, which are amazing. Pumpkin pie is great, or pumpkin flavored stuff. Yeah, I grew out of that's one of the things, because I was such a picky eater. I do love pumpkin.
I'm
Once I
kind of
gave it a shot.
surprised that you ate that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I absolutely love pumpkin.
There's the watch.
I want that. There was a commercial a few years ago that was advertising like these kind of various like movie watches, and they had like the Predator wrist.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and the Dick Tracy watch. Like, are you trying to tell me that you're going to release some of this stuff to buy? Like, no, we're advertising our bullshit jewelry and our watches.
Those won't be in store. Don't worry about that. We're just trying to get you to show up to our store.
Yeah, I love that diner. Like, I just love the fake money there. It's like money you could buy like the toy department in Kmart. But just the whole diner set, like this 1930s, 1940s feel, it's just it's so beautiful.
I want to say too, the other thing that I enjoy is as alpha as Dick Tracy is, he does have a very strong lady counterpart to him, and you can tell that they really love each other. And I like how she is very she can take care of herself.
Yeah, she's a strong female character, but she's got heart, and she really cares about him, and that's why it's devastating when she sees Dick Tracy talking about fresh peach. Better eat it right away. It's starting to run a little. Oh, look at all those neon signs in the background, donuts and stuff, and bringing in flat top and issue for interrogation, like the green lights on the street. Like, why the hell hasn't Hollywood revisited this? Like, the idea of bringing in a wide variety of celebrities to play these minor roles, to be part of like an ensemble film noir series.
I don't want it. They'll fuck it up. They always
of course
fuck
they
it
will,
up.
but it's just one of the. I mean, yeah, they do that with all of our beloved ideas and properties and things like that, because they just don't know these jerk offs that are making all the decisions.
Well, who would you have play Dick Tracy now?
I would want Warren Beatty to come back and have a big part, if not direct it.
But, I know he's been trying to get a sequel off the ground for a long time.
Or just revisit the property in general. And it sounded like there was some legit talks, but I can't think of, because the current roster of like leading men today, they're just very generic and they don't have like a lot of great screen presence. Like, even though I had never seen Warren Beatty in anything prior to this, like Warren has a very distinct look. He's very serious. But he's extremely. It's hard not to laugh during this. Like, his whole posture with
the way that he's hunched over. I like how he keeps around. Like, hey, yeah, and I'm sure in the 2019 world that we live in, people would probably be uncomfortable with this scene. But come on, guys, like you got to look at this from he's an asshole.
Yeah, and this is not like it's kind of you feel like it takes place in the 1930s, but it says you don't know when this takes place. Which makes it feel like you can get and you know what? I don't care if you get offended by this shit. You're a pussy, because if you have to remember too. Breathless Mahoney is the blank. Putting this plan together to take out all Big Boy and Dick Tracy, but hoping.
And I like how he's there at the end of it.
It's a great montage of him, dancing around with them and smacking their asses and screaming at them. He's just having a great time with this, For someone that is the
but he wants it to he wants it to be perfect, because he wants this club to do very well.
Which that says a lot about his character. Like, he wants to be in charge and have.
He's a dick.
Yeah.
So of course he's going to be doing dickish things.
Give it to me. And she doesn't give a shit. She's just sitting there.
I have the subtitles on here, so I can kind of, read certain things. And it's funny, the subtitles here just says mumbles incoherently, continues mumbling. That. Yeah. And also, Mandy Patinkin is and honestly, in my opinion, a very underrated. He's a very fantastic actor.
I always see these clickbait ads that pop up, like 10 actors that are difficult to work with, and he's always on those clickbait.
I have heard that, yes.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It doesn't work. Do it again.
Nah. Boss. That's why these guys are tired. It's Lubbock from He-Man. I like this. You're telling me it's 2 a.m. Oh! Me and Derek used to laugh our asses off at this when he hits 88 keys and then screams at Madonna here. Shut up! Yeah.
Come in.
Smacks her across the face. And then the face he makes after he smacks her. It's just genius. See, he's playing better already. He's such an asshole. So awesome. Like Kathy Bates playing the typist back there. I think it was like her first or one of her very first.
See, honestly, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And that's just something I put together and watching over the years. Like, wait, that's Kathy Bates, I think, back there. I mean, she only see her in a couple of shots close up, and then that's it. She's gone. Oh, I get kind of thirsty. Watch him drink that water.
I like how he can actually talk normal.
Yeah. It's just something he does, like it's a gimmick for his, like, the gangster, like, to get away with something. I don't know. I have a speech impediment. I can't talk properly. Like, nah, it's bullshit. I figure if they made a Pat figure, he definitely would have been like the peg warmer of the toy line.
Well, apparently they were all peg warmers. So.
Yeah, which was
it's a shame.
Yeah. Because I remember like seeing the commercials for the toys, and I think because I saw the commercial, I think, because when I saw the toys, oh, they're out, because there was an end cap of Dick Tracy figures at Kmart right here in town on a Friday, and I remember my babysitter's daughter took me over there to get bubbles, and I lost my mind. I'm like, oh, the Dick Tracy toys are out! And my mom came to pick me up. I said, the Dick Tracy toys at Kmart, can we get one? So she took me and my brother over to Kmart Wrap. She picked us up and got to see the Dick Tracy figure, and I got itchy.
Hell yeah.
But they had Flat Top, and when I went back, I couldn't find them. I was sitting there flipping through all the damn toys. Where's Flat Top?
I could see you freaking out about that.
Yep, but after all these years, earlier last year, or this year, I finally got myself a Flat Top who's sitting proudly on my shelf. Whew. Check that one off the bucket list.
Yeah, I need to, because they're at my parents', I need to go dig those out. I got so much shit at my parents'. I need a bigger house.
Yeah, it makes me sick that all the shit that you have and I don't own, you're like, hey, it's sitting in a box covered in shit. You know?
It's not covered in shit.
I know. It might as well be.
Oh, boy, this scene. Now, I'm watching it on DVD, but I do own the Blu-ray.
And I'm watching it on Blu-ray.
And I'm kind of curious if...
Hoo-ha!
All right. No, yeah. A DVD, you can still see it plain as day.
They're quite...
yeah.
She's clearly looks chilly right here. And on VHS, you can only see but so much because VHS, the transfers.
But yeah, if you guys are looking for some Madonna nipples, around the 21:45 mark, 22 minutes,
Disney-based film back when Disney was not afraid to, like, it's Madonna, she's risque, she's out there with her sexuality, like, to tell her what she can and cannot do. It's like, that just shows the star power of her at that time in this movie.
Oh, just that line of dialogue. It's like, I'll switch out under the lights. I sweat a lot better in the dark. Ooh.
Yeah. I almost wonder if that was stuff because she put that book about sex and.
Oh yeah. I remember
these two were dating at the time too.
Right.
So
yeah.
Let's show you what kind of a ladies man and leading man Warren Beatty was at the time, because he was a big actor in the 70s and the 60s. Milk truck in the background, just all these like simple touches.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to think that back in the day you would have a milkman that would come over and deliver.
Which when I would see that in like old sitcoms and things like that too, I always thought it was kind of like a fascinating kind of simpler lifetime part of that era. Like the milkman comes to deliver along with the paper boy and the mailman that and say, how you doing there? What's the name of the mailman from Mr. Rogers?
Shit.
Damn it. Mr. Hurley. No. That's from. Ah, shit. God, man.
This happens to you a lot.
Yeah, I know. Any other time, like I said, just spout this stuff off, like
You're like
water, no big
under the
deal.
light. Shit. It'll come to you eventually.
Yeah.
Just pop out of nowhere.
Mr. McFeely, that's it. Busy day. You
know, Tom Hanks is doing a Mr. Rogers movie, right? He's playing Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
That should be okay.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that, which is nice to feel like there's something coming out in current cinema that's worth going to see.
I still need to watch the Mr. Rogers documentary. I have it on DVD.
I really want to see that.
I heard it's really sad, so
yeah,
prepare to cry.
I mean, I've watched some clips of it. I think when it came out, I'm like, God, I really want to see the rest of this. See, it's times like that I miss having a video store where, like, it'd be nice to rent something before I buy it.
I can go to Redbox, man.
I don't do that stuff. I don't want to stand at Kroger behind some, idiot who just wants to sit there and hold the damn thing up.
Usually there's not a line.
There's Richard Fleischer, voice of Roger Rabbit there in the blue.
Oh yeah.
Played the Dream Doctor in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Which is another film. I know we covered that before on Beyond Retro, but Roger Rabbit is like, that's another movie that, hey, they actually took a chance and did something different. And it's dark.
Yeah. But people, Dick Van Dyke, and Charles Durning, all with Warren Beatty, all in the same scene. Like,
yeah, and Dick Van Dyke still kicking.
Yeah.
What was the shitty doctor show that he had?
Oh,
Diagnosis Murder.
Yeah, it used to come on like Fridays on CBS.
I say it's shitty. I never really watched it.
I didn't either because it felt like it was one of those shows geared towards senior citizens, like most everything on CBS.
Yeah. What was it at the time? It was like Diagnosis Murder and Murder, She Wrote. And all of these fantastic actresses and actors just playing these, basically the same
like Matlock,
Matlock.
Back and play, Perry Mason comes back and plays like the more rotund version of Perry Mason.
In the Heat of the Night.
Yeah. Just these shows, as a kid, I feel like this is what my mom wants to run. Even though I liked Murder, She Wrote as a kid because I used to watch that at my mom's house. And they are hanging out in the car. And I love every shot of Edo Ross playing Itchy. He's just itching. Like, I just like that he sticks to the character. This is a Christmas movie. Look at this. We're seeing Christmas decorations in this
movie. Don't even try to play that bullshit.
Yeah, I know, because you and JoJo are just like, all right, if it ain't Gremlins, man, it ain't a Christmas movie.
When do we eat?
Yeah, I like this montage as a kid because it looked good. Like, I want to hang out with him.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of like craving a banana split right about now.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
You can kind of get the experience of like diners. I mean, diners definitely still exist here in the States, but
they're just not few and far between. Like when my dad worked up north, he used to take us to this place called the Silver Diner, and it was like an old school 1930s diner, inside and out, and great food, and it was just a fun atmosphere to be in. It was a lot of fun. I wish there would be somebody that would, like a toy company, preferably not someone who wants $300 a damn figure. But that
would do all Dick Tracy line. I agree with that. That would be cool. But with it still being locked under the Disney label, who would be putting that out?
That's why I feel like when NECA seems to get along with everybody, I feel like they seem to get rights from a wide variety of people. But like DC Marvel stuff, to do movie stuff, they've done with Turtles with Playmates.
I mean, a Dick Tracy line from NECA would be pretty badass.
Yeah,
but I imagine if you were to ask them about it, they would go in that whole thing of, well, that movie's not. It's not a popular.
It's like Jason Takes Manhattan. We would much rather focus on like shitty films like Freddy's Dead.
I think part of that now is just the legal buy, because they, after the Freddy versus Jason Voorhees comes out and a couple others, they're not allowed to put anything else out yet because of that ongoing lawsuit between Ryder and Sean Cunningham and the rights and all that.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about the writers hold up a lot of stuff.
It's a mess. So we'll see what happens. with that. But I would love to have a good scale Tracy.
Hell, even if they were based on the comic book designs, like as long as they were like articulated where you could have the gangsters holding their Tommy gun in both hands. And I know Mezco did like these kind of like little like Lego like figurines. So I'm like, I don't give a shit about those kind of things. Like I want something that's fully posable that looks like a badass on display. And I mean, my preference, yes, would be like the likenesses from the movie, but I think it's definitely a series of characters that deserves to be revisited and needs to be revisited, because I feel like a lot of people in our age range that grew up watching this film and collecting the toys, it tends to be looked upon quite fondly for the most part, amongst fans at least. Yeah, I'm sure you got your assholes here and there like shit on it, with their highbrow approach. With people may say that about me. But
they have,
yeah, of course they do, because I'm not just gonna like, oh man, Resident Evil, it was great, man, because I don't know jack shit about Resident, but it's great, man, right? Like, no, it sucked.
Yeah, the only cool thing about that first film was the grid trap that cut him into a bunch of pieces.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I do remember vividly. That was like, okay, that was pretty cool. Other than that, this movie sucked balls.
Yeah, and yet they made like five.
God, I don't know.
Five more
too
films?
many, 6 too many sequels.
Yeah. Our favorite, Paul W.S. Anderson, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. AVP himself.
Yeah, he did make Mortal Kombat. We can't.
Yeah. So, but I give credit where credit's due, and I give Madonna credit here for wearing this
for this outfit.
Yeah. It definitely shows like the magnitude of how successful Batman was. Like, it makes me feel like Disney was like, Madonna, you can wear whatever you want. Like, does not matter. Be as sexual as you want to. We want this film to be like the Batman of 1990. Because, things like this, the way Disney is so gutless and it's clearly all about agendas. And, hey, look, we changed this character's ethnicity. Look, we made this character this. Like, yeah. These guys were about, like, we want to be a juggernaut. Do whatever you can.
It's weird that this movie is going to be 30 years old next year.
Oh, man, yeah. Maybe we'll finally get, like, a legitimate, like, special edition with a commentary or a documentary, like reflecting.
Well, I do know that when the DVD was coming out, Warren Beatty wanted to put it out under the Buena Vista label and have a director's cut that added 10 minutes to the film. What that would have been, who knows? But
I don't care, as long as it's incorporated into the film. Because that's what I wish a lot of these things, if they're going to do, like, with like deleted scenes, like, put them into the film the way you wanted them to be. Like, don't make them a special feature. Like, if I want to watch the film as it is, I'll pop in like the releases we've got. But if you're going to do all that stuff, make it part of the film. Yeah, as a kid watching this, it used to bother me some because I really wanted him and Madonna to get together. I'm like, leave Tess. Madonna's better.
I mean, I was probably the same way when.
Yeah. As an adult, yes, I'm all about, be true to your woman, man. You got to reject the temptations. But at least, they do play him like, a man would probably struggle against Madonna's advances.
I mean, yeah.
But he sticks to it.
It's like my good pal Keith Bagley used to tell me, I'm an oak. That's what you got to say when temptation comes your way.
Yeah, I'm an oak. To quote the great Doc Holliday from Tombstone. That is what you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
I would certainly hope so.
Well, yeah, that, but Keith always used to tell me that all the time.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, I think more about Keith than I do Tombstone. I always like those. It usually gets played for comedic effect in other films, but I like how she was listening to that track and it's like, I'm following you, and there's like, obviously someone is got a couple tales going on.
This coming up was a scene that I used to look forward to immensely when I would rent this as a kid, seeing all the gangsters for the big meeting. I just got so excited to watch it because Prune Face, that was another one as a kid next to Flat Top. I could not wait to see Prune Face in the film. And I remember for years and years and years, when I would watch this, like, why does Pruneface sound so familiar? Like, and I would see his name in the credits, like, why do I R.J. Armstrong, like R.G. Armstrong, like, why do I know that name? And like his voice, I'm like, it's Colonel Phillips from Predator. And it drove me nuts for years trying to, why the hell do I know that voice in that name? Pruneface, what I mean, it's the future. Oh, he's got the walnuts there.
I was never big into walnuts. I'm more of just like I'm kind of a simpler man. I like cashews and just straight up ass peanuts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not much on eating nuts by themselves, but peanuts would be my preference.
Almonds are okay. My dad's actually allergic to almonds, so not many of those in the house as a kid.
I didn't know for years that was Inigo Montoya. Because, you know.
Well, I mean, he looks vastly different there.
Yeah. But it's fun, like, when you're a kid and you watch so many of these films, and then you start, you know, when you really get into movies and behind the scenes and who the actors are, and you go back and start, you know, revisiting these films with new knowledge, it gives you, like, a new perspective, a new meaning, a new life on these films. You're like, wait, what? That's James Tolkien from the live-action He-Man film. That's Colonel Phillips from Predator. You know, it's the bad guy from Red Heat playing Itchy. You know, you're just like, God, man, there's like so many people. And James Caan at the end of the table, like it was just, and Henry Silva playing Influence. I had him as a kid, the action figure.
Mumbles is the best.
Yeah,
I think he is without a doubt my favorite out of everybody.
Yeah, Derek had. So did you have the Mumbles figure as a kid?
No.
Yeah, Derek had him. But this scene, like so many gangsters that aren't in. Man, the makeup on Wayne Forsythe, man, he's just one gruesome looking dude. Kind of makes you wonder, like, who are all the rest of these hoods? When did we kill Dick Tracy? Henry Silva, he's cool, man. He's a good actor.
Yeah. It is kind of weird when you think about it, though, with the cast that they have, how a lot of them just have minimal dialogue.
Yeah, they're just, which left me wanting more so much as a kid. Like, I wanted to see more Pruneface, because Pruneface gets killed off so early in the film. I was like, oh, damn it, man. And Influence looks so cool. And I felt like, you know, there's so many characters, but that's why I felt like a sequel could have worked, but everybody dies.
Yeah, a nice little Godfather reunion here, too.
Yeah. Everyone pull their guns out immediately. I just like that itchy trigger finger. And I tell you, like...
yeah, maybe I should get some makeup, because I got the hair and the big forehead. Maybe I can be flat top.
You can be flat top, dude. But you'll always be Brad Dourif. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was it like to get smacked around by Gene Hackman in Mississippi Burning? That scene makes me laugh. Did ya?
It's a fucked up movie.
Yeah, it is. It's a good movie.
Yeah. And I guess that's kind of like where we're at now. Movies during all this time period were actually, and there goes James Caan, we're actually taking chances and doing different stuff and taking on serious issues. Now, the only bankable thing in Hollywood, it seems, is sequels to old established properties.
That a lot of times don't live up. This poor stuntman got the shit knocked out of him with that stunt.
Yeah.
Smacking his head against that. Ah!
And there we go. There's our first shot of
the
blank.
Which I love the voice.
Yeah.
Which I think me and my brother both, like, we thought the character was so cool, but we were kind of bummed that it was Madonna, because we wanted it to be a guy instead of a girl. And then, of course, when Madonna dies, that was sad too. But I love the fact, like, as an adult, like, it was brilliant to make her the blank, like combining the character of Breathless Mahoney and the blank and make him one character.
I like that. You know, for a tough guy, you do a lot of pansy things.
Yeah, like brushing your teeth, which would be the typical perspective of a child.
I wouldn't have opened the door at all. Like, Tracy should know better. He's like, that doesn't sound like anybody.
But for it to kind of come out of nowhere, which means like the gangsters are just monitoring like the situation quite well from a distance. So it's a plausible reason for the city's greatest detective to open the door and have two guns pulled in on. You know, the kid Kappa. Ed Rawson is so like hell of his like so good. Man, the kid, he's such a prick. Like jumps out, takes his wallet, and takes the money. They're like, oh. He's a cop. I forgot. Little bastard.
Yeah, but if he hadn't have been out there, he wouldn't have known what was going down. And plus, he probably would have went with Tracy too.
But immediately left, like hanging out with Tracy, and then steals from him. But the kid actor who's playing him, like he had quite a little career in the 90s, playing Hook. What About Bob? In this, 3 movies that I watched religiously as a kid. I imagine he's got some pretty good stories just on those 3 movies alone. See, scenes like this too. I just feel like it's just this film itself it's got a lot going on for it, just not given the respect it deserves.
Man, Pacino was so good.
Yeah, and he plays in horse shit now.
Just collecting paychecks. I mean, I don't blame him. You know,
when you can get away with making millions of dollars for making a shitty film with Adam Sandler, just so you can like buy a beach house in Malibu or something like that. I mean, I get it. I understand that, but you know, fans are always going to look at things differently than the actors from their perspective. They look at this is how they make their living. If you can have fun doing it while making millions of dollars, you know, we probably would too. But we just have these.
I think it's just weird to see between Pacino and De Niro, 2 guys that really took their career seriously and what they did seriously for so long to just start like collecting paychecks. It just kind of goes against everything that they stood for at the time.
Yeah, because you feel like even at this period in their lives, these guys could do whatever they wanted. They could be in Marvel and DC if they wanted to. They could pick and choose. You know, people are asking them, and they can say, "Hey, I want to do this." Oh, we'll bring you in, and you kind of feel like.
But instead, we're doing Meet the Fockers and Jack and Jill.
They don't have to do that stuff. Like you just kind of feel like, you know, and not everything has to be some sort of gangster film. Like they could pick and choose whatever they want to do till the day they die. Like Clint Eastwood, like the guy can direct and star in Dump Dick, which I always thought was a great line. Like Itchy and Flat Top, both they got like those like butt noses, like they got that crease in the center of these big like caricature noses.
And we talked about special features. That's something I would really like to see too. Is the makeup and
all that, yeah, because
what all they went through and the decisions that were made on. Well, here's what they look like in the comic. This is how we want to try to translate this to the screen. There's a lot of stuff that they can talk about.
Yeah, from like just Warren Beatty talking about just trying to get the film greenlit and a company that was willing to take the chance on it and casting the film. How do you decide what kind of story to tell? But when you're incorporating all these characters in just one movie that you could have went on and done at least a trilogy of films with like Lips Manless and his gang, Big Boy and his gang. You could have done a whole like film on just the blank alone. Like, who was the blank? It's really Breathless Mahoney. Like so many movies could have been done. But like I said, they kill off everybody, which kind of kills the opportunity for sequels. But there's so much going on with this film. Like, getting just to talk about William Force or talk to William about this film, I feel like there was so much I could have asked him. But, you know.
What did you get him to autograph, by the way?
An 8x10 to flat top.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't get a Dick Tracy poster.
Well, I had thought about getting like a 27x40 like character poster, a flat top that said "Eat Lead, Tracy." But I think by that point too, I had so much stuff, you know, because it was a big list that year. That was also the year that really soured my opinion on these conventions, where people just want to piss on your excitement by charging you out the ass and then treat you like you're a piece of shit just for being excited to meet them. But William was a real nice guy to me too. He really liked talking to me and just made me feel like, you know, what I had to say was. He was just a really cool guy. I asked about Dick Tracy and I asked about working on Deuce Bigelow.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which, yeah, it's not a film I revisit, but I have fond memories of that kind of film at the time, and he was funny in it. So
Yeah, I would go.
don't know.
I would go back and rewatch it. You know, Rob Schneider's gonna be at GalaxyCon next week, right? Did you
No,
know
I
that?
didn't know that. No, I
Yeah.
did not know that. It's like, well, I enjoyed some of your stuff.
Yeah.
Not much, but
I liked it when you were a stapler.
yeah. About when you were a carrot. I like the shot of the graveyard. Like, it just looks really, really cool. There's so much stuff. I feel like this film could have been like a 3-hour film because you've got all these situations and scenarios going on. And of course, the film was extended like with a comic book miniseries, which I had one issue of as a kid. I think it was like the comic book the adaptation of the film itself, and there's like 2 issues before that kind of tie in right up to this film, which might expand. Which I've never read them, but like this situation right here with the district attorney, you feel like, look at that beautiful shot. Like, there's just so much going on in this film that you really could have expanded so much more. Almost like even just this story alone of Big Boy, in cahoots with the district attorney, becoming kingpin of this city. Dick Tracy gets thrown in jail. Like, this really could have been stretched out into a couple of films, culminating in this big shootout in the streets outside the Club Ritz, in like a 3rd film, like building up. Like, Dick Tracy gets put in jail in the 2nd film. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely a Madonna line. Eat my peach. Eat my fresh peach. It's running.
Hey, and then after this, you became a Rockford Peach in A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
Which is another fantastic fucking movie. That's one of my... I like baseball movies because I was huge into baseball as a kid. So all of it. I love all of it. League of Their Own, Natural, Rookie of the Year.
Major League, Sandlot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
all of it.
Baseball tends to be the one sport that tends to make the more quality films.
Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, yeah. Tony Danza's gonna die.
Yeah. Mel Clark, Hammerling for Mitchell. Go back to Cincinnati.
I would watch Angels in the Outfield again.
Yeah, I have fond memories of that film.
Yeah.
And we saw it like 3 times in theaters. We loved the hell out of that.
Yeah,
film.
there was one summer I watched it a lot on VHS.
Yeah, when it came out on VHS, our dad bought it because he liked it too, and we just watched the hell out of that tape.
I still regret to this day when we met Danny Glover not doing the flapping my arm.
I'm not wasting my time like the Department Predator 2 to talk about that. Which you should have done, you and your free ass picture you got off my back.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
For those, did we tell this story before on the podcast?
I don't think so.
We met Danny Glover at Mad Monster Party one year. I got his autograph as well, and so did Tyler. But Tyler wanted to get a picture, and the guy, like I guess agent, handler, whatever, that's there with him at the show was like, "Hey, get in the picture with him." So I got a free picture with Tyler and Danny Glover. And at the time, Tyler was like, "Man, that was badass." Now he's just like, "You ruined my moment." You have individual pictures with him too.
I did, and that was, of all the things we've done, like that was one of the most starstruck moments I've had on the convention circuit, because I was so taken. Like, there's Danny Glover sitting in front of me, dude, and I'm like, God, I was just like, God, it was amazing.
Oh, and this predicament right here.
Yeah, I felt terrible for Dick Tracy because I didn't want him to be in trouble with Tess. As much as I wanted him and Madonna to get together, like I didn't like him getting in trouble with her. Like, I was like, oh, this is not good.
Oh man, I'm telling you,
to be a little boy who got like his face thrown by Madonna,
if she touched my face at the time,
I would have hit puberty in that moment.
Yeah, I would have looked at my dad and been like, "Dad, my dinger feels weird.
Growing hair in funny places, man. What the hell's going on?" Dick tried so hard. Hey, what is this pistachio trying to bullshit his way out?
And this is heartbreaking too. She walks in there and just starts crying. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, awesome voice.
That actually actually sounds similar to the following announcement, Fans of Power thing I did a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Like, look at this beautiful shot of the train station. All this here, this whole sequence here was so, like, kind of creepy as a kid watching this. I used to think 88 Kids was wearing a bathroom robe or something like that. It just didn't look like an actual coat.
Oh, no, you can see it with the collar
as
right
now,
there.
but as an adult, I thought he was wearing, like, a bathrobe.
You mean as a kid, you thought?
Yeah, as a kid, yeah. Like, he got a late call and gets out in his bathrobe. Yeah, this is such a cool shot with the purple behind the blank. I mean, it's visually, it's a masterpiece visually. I mean, so much great use of lighting. Imagine what Michael Mann could have done with a Dick Tracy film.
When Michael Mann was good.
Yeah, and he wasn't making, lame ass films that no one gives a shit about.
His Michael Mann's movie Thief is actually pretty fantastic.
Simply because, like, it's on Criterion, and of course they want you to just sign over the lease to your car to get Criterion.
That's why, actually, right now, Barnes and Noble, Criterion sale where they're 50% off. It's always in July and in December.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of cash right now, but I've been meaning to sit down and watch Thief for a while, so I might have to, be like Joe Amato and eat, top ramen noodles for a month or so. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Hey, if I can do this, you guys can buy them, right?
Sure, man. I mean, of course, that's when, people didn't realize he eats like this all the time, which is why he's like, no big deal, man.
And then he still just doesn't buy the figures.
Yeah. He's full of shit, man. He's like John Denver telling you about the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah. Thought the Rocky Mountains be a little rockier than this.
That Joe Amato is full of shit, man. Where? To the piano? It's like, LA just constantly smacking her, like, come here.
Tyler, he doesn't condone violence on women.
No, I do not. Yeah, I do not. But it's funny as hell watching in this film. No, ever since I was a little guy, like, I always believed in treating women the best of the best.
Yeah, it was the same way.
Yeah. Nothing's changed.
It's always shown, like, you gotta, like, treat them differently. Dudes, on the other hand, totally different story.
Yeah.
I always like this song, too.
Yeah, a lot of great music in this, from Danny Elfman's score to the original music that Madonna did for the film, and then all the various other songs that play throughout the film. I like in the montage too, that plays after the sequence where they're busting everybody. It just goes great with this song. This and The Rocketeer, because these were two films that really played up the 1930s gangster setting. I just fell in love with these films, and you kind of feel like, to market films like this to kids today, they're like, this isn't Minecraft or some other, like, Candy Crush or whatever was popular with kids bullshit. Like this, they thought these films that were, you kind of look at this like, this wouldn't work with kids today, but they marketed these.
But that was also a different time, man. You got to think about how many rated R movies got toy lines.
Yeah, they just felt like kids. We were impressionable. It was great to see machismo in all of our films. And Disney could release quite macho like this and Rocketeer.
Well, you also got to think too that
that's a cool trick. I like that. I thought I was flipping everything over with such a cool gag for this film.
Toy lines, kids don't resonate with toys anymore.
They don't.
They have devices, really, so that kind of changes the whole dynamic. Back then, especially here, you got to think like, what was it at the time in the 80s and early 90s? Turtles, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Thundercats, like toys sold. So for them to be like, well, what can we make any toys from this? Oh, we can?
Yeah.
Boom. But it is kind of funny to think about that you and I were watching this 6 years old. We're watching Dick Tracy.
Yeah. And I'm like, I want to be dressed up like Dick Tracy. I want to fight gangsters with a Tommy gun and punch them and be like the Rocketeer and save Jennifer Connelly from Timothy Dalton. Like, yeah, man. Yeah,
and that was the at the time weeks ago. It was between this and Rocketeer. Rocketeer we will come around to. at some point, because we definitely need to discuss that film.
Yeah,
Another one that I feel like Disney sort of deemed as a failure.
Yeah, well, it came out the same summer as Robin Hood too, which were those were my two movies of that summer. Anxiously waiting to see both of them in theaters. And so both films, and this too, this was a film that my dad enjoyed, and I think my mom thought was okay. Which I always thought was cool, if my parents liked these films that I was excited to watch, I thought like, okay, that's a testament to the quality. If my mom and dad think they're good too, then I feel like, okay, great. Like I'm liking something that's special, because when you're watching He-Man, Thundercats, and Turtles all the time, and you pick a live action film and they like it. It was
you know what? I never gave a shit what my parents thought.
Well, not that but it was
like when I'd watch it, I watched it for me. Like if they like, I could take it either way.
They liked it, like when Batman came out, and my mom said she liked it a lot, but her favorite character was the Joker. I was like, but what about Batman? I'm like, you gotta like Batman. But it was just. But I thought it was cool that like they both liked the live action Turtles film. I thought that was cool that they thought it was a good film, because it wasn't meant for them. And I like this montage. It does a great job. And there's what's his name? He was in Scrooge, and he was in Bonnie and Clyde.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, people watching this, they knew who I'm talking about. I had my random blanks, pun intended. I like this kind of horror house here. Brothel sounds more upscale. Playing Bug Mocha. He was another gangster. I wish we could have seen more of the gangster.
Hey, is that the glimpse there? Was that the dude that played the teacher on Saved by the Bell and did the Matchbox commercials? Talks really fast.
Oh yeah. I didn't see him, but I don't think so. But I'll have to go back and double check. I don't think so though.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
it looked like him.
Well, no, I know. I think I remember the guy you're talking about, but I don't think it was him. But verified here live, so someone can't anxiously. I want to let you know that you were wrong, Tyler. I remember seeing so many TV spots for this and the various shots.
Yep, that was him. Yep, that was him and Dick Tracy, his radio announcer.
Oh, the radio. Oh, okay, I was looking.
He was also in Blank Man as Mr. Crud.
I only saw that once. It didn't leave much of an impression on me. That Meteor Man.
But yeah, Testaverde.
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, plumbing is his hobby.
Testaverde's test.
Played Blur on Transformers the movie.
Yep.
I'm ripping him out. That was in the trailers. I mean, when I watch this, I think about a lot of the moments that were in the TV spots I used to watch.
I like the look on his face.
Yeah, he just completely like, what the hell? But I like this team up because it came off like Prune Face was not just a low-level guy that decided to sign up for Big Boy's plan. Like, I felt like they were almost equals. Like, Big Boy looks to him as like, you're an equal to me, but I want you working with me. Like they were like legit partners. He didn't see them as like kind of flat top and itchy or like his henchmen.
I like how he's freaking out in his own way, but he's trying to be as quiet as he can.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her.
Yeah, she's pretty oblivious to he's putting down the food and eating like crazy, and she's sitting there on the brink of a nervous breakdown.
Hey, how's your burger?
I'm surprised he just doesn't like, aren't you gonna have something? You want some of mine? It's like, but without coffee?
I can see Tyler being like super oblivious like this.
Bullshit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I sense like the slightest bit of like something's not right here. As much as I may come off like a meathead who just, I like this, and all you people are stupid for not liking it, or like you people are morons for liking Marvel and DC movies right now. Like I'm not oblivious to such things.
I'm actually gonna Redbox Shazam, I think.
Well, I hope you enjoy it. Kevin Sharp says it's great. He also said Godzilla King of the Monsters is great too. And I'm like, you can't fool me. I'm not watching a movie where the monsters are in the background. They may look great, but the human storyline.
Yeah, I'll check that out on Redbox. But I don't know. Shazam actually looked fun to me and kind of warrants the comedy vibe from it. I feel like that's a better fit than trying to just how Marvel's just trying to shove it in there down your throat all the time. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you'll probably like it.
What are you trying to say? That my taste is shit? No. I have you know, I was up until 7 a.m. this morning watching a Jonas Brothers documentary that was actually pretty good.
And that clears you of what I think about you right now?
Whatever.
Yeah, this sequence here I thought was... What's that?
I was just saying, poor dude.
Yeah, little Bug Bailey's getting the cement treatment.
Yeah, just imagine like being in that position.
That's a scary ass fate. Like you're going to be sealed in a block of cement and then dropped into the ocean. Like it's a long drawn out death.
Yeah, I think drowning is the worst way to go, whether it be in an actual ocean or in this case like cement. Like, yeah.
Don't influence and profess with like badasses and their coats and Tommy guns here. Like that just looks. I remember like when I was like in my like late teens, early 20s, like why haven't they revisited Dick Tracy? Like I wanted to, like gotta come up with a storyline where like Prune Face and Influence, like they're working together and they infiltrate both rival gangs of Lip Manless and Big Boy, and they're kind of feeding each other info back and forth and playing the two gangs against each other. And like, oh, it'd been so cool. Just because of this one scene, because I just thought they looked so cool as a team. And I remember as a kid, like, oh, Prune Face is dead. Oh, man. Man, I like Madonna's outfit here.
Yeah. She had a lot of good outfits in this movie.
Yeah, she did. She's all about putting herself out there. Yeah, because you look at this point, man, this is pretty much all that's left of Big Boy's gang. Everyone got put in jail. Man with no face. I mean, everything, like the cars, the outfits, I mean, the light, everything is just so beautiful. I mean, everything just looks... Okay, piano player. I just love the desperation in this scene. This cars look so cozy. Like, just kind of hang out in the back seat and take a nice leisure drive. That's like cartoons like that Bugs Bunny would fight, like Muggsy and Rocky. I always like this kind of old school gangsters that Bugs Bunny would take on. Like this era itself was it was quite mesmerizing to me as a kid.
I got curious and I looked it up because you had brought up earlier that Al Pacino was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. And his competition in the category was Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, Andy Garcia in The Godfather Part 3, Graham Greene in Dances with Wolves, and ultimately the winner was Joe Pesci.
Yeah, and understandably so. But if I had my pick, I'd give it to Big Boy. There's another little montage. And that's, what's her name from Roseanne, who also played in Bonnie and Clyde. Which, when I saw that film eventually, like, there's a lot of people that were in that film that are in this film. Like, I'm kind of surprised Faye Dunaway and Gene Hackman weren't in this film. Because they were all in all.
Well, maybe it was offered and they turned it down. Bonus features, Disney. Come on.
Yeah. Gene Hackman would have been awesome as a gangster in this film. Yeah, and this film like has quite a few montages in it, but it helps tell the story and kind of moving along.
Which is what a montage does.
Yeah, I feel like it advances the story and kind of sets the tone of, okay, the stakes have been risen, or things are going great, or things are really, they're in the shitter right now, and it works. I don't feel like it's like it's because I had nothing better to do. And I've heard I like this too, like they're both looking at the phone, like waiting for it to ring, or should I call? Like that tells a story.
Been there before, brother.
Yep, me too. And the shot, this makes me think of like King Kong with like the boat docked in New York. Just all this with the moon in the background, just beautiful. Like Warren Beatty had a good eye on this film. Like the way this is shot has like a softer look to it. To kind
of this is what really hammers home the 1930s and 40s vibe.
And she does a good job. Like Madonna does a very, very good job.
Yeah, no, she's capable of acting.
Yeah,
but she has done a lot of shit.
Yeah, she just needs to be dating better men to put her in better films.
Guy Ritchie was okay. He had a few good movies.
He's fine. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just saying, like overall, like I mean, she's good in League of Her Own. I'm not lumping that in too, but I'm just saying, like, she doesn't have like a.
She's definitely not a leading lady. She's definitely.
But I will say she's better than Jennifer Lopez in her line of films. Like Jennifer Lopez, she's a beautiful woman, but I don't like her films and her music. She had like one good song and that was it.
Is it the Waiting for Tonight?
Yep, that's it. Other than that, I'm like, I hate her music.
You don't like Jenny from the Block?
Oh God, man, it was just like on the radio all the time.
What was that fucking song she did with Ja Rule? I didn't like that one either. Used to play all the time on MTV before school, and I was like, oh God, I hate this song.
I don't know, but
damn it.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Once I see the title, I'm probably gonna hear like Ja Rule in my head. Menage.
Yeah. Fast and Furious. I did like that exchange of dialogue that when Dick Tracy says he loves her, like that's just with the music, it's some powerful stuff, man. You people need to get off your high horse and stop shitting on this film, whoever you are. I know you're out there.
I'm Real is the name of the song. I just remember the video because like she's wearing some weird getup and he's like following her and they're like walking down a sidewalk.
Is that when she was doing like all like the thug life stuff with like
I wouldn't say
I wouldn't whatever the hell he's calling himself.
I wouldn't necessarily say thug life stuff. But I remember vividly wearing like a bandana around her head and shit.
Oh yeah, it's just like
It's all right, because now she's with Alex Rodriguez. That fucking asshole.
Yeah. She doesn't have the best taste in men overall.
It's amazing how sometimes during these commentaries we just sway in some weird directions.
I think I only liked one song by Ja Rule, and when I went back and revisited, I'm like, it's not as good as I remembered. I think it was like his first like breakout song at the time.
Yeah. Ja Rule sucks.
Yeah.
Don't hear anything out of Nelly anymore either.
No, I never liked him at all. At all. My brother liked him. My brother it's like my brother. It's like you couldn't find a rapper that my brother didn't like. I felt like at the time.
Yeah. Watching Belly every day.
Yeah, but my brother's taste in music has gotten so much better. Like he buries me when it comes to music.
Yeah,
like,
man.
How I am about movies, he is about music. He's just well versed in music.
I did like DMX at the time. Looking back on that, I'm like, yeah, that sucked.
Well, there were certain rappers at the time that were, there was a few Eminem songs I liked. There was a couple like Coolio, which I will say to this day was like, a great rapper and still is.
Yeah, no, like Coolio was fine. He had some good stuff.
LL Cool J, I mean, classic old school rap. And some of Tupac stuff's fine too. Yeah, no,
I would say overall, like Tupac to me is probably the best, just because lyrically his stuff, like he had a song, the typical like bitches hoes, I'm the man. Well,
that's the
stuff,
kind of rap I don't give a shit about.
But he also had a lot of very well written.
Yeah.
songs that
And
meant
Notorious
more.
B.I.G., like I like some of his stuff too. But rap has been, I feel like, just absolute, the quote, the West Texas rednecks, rap is crap. Like, it's been garbage for quite a while, but there was some really, really good stuff.
Oh, what a shitty angle that was. Don't get me, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Kurt Hennig deserved way better than being the lead of a stable of fucking people that
should have been a horseman the whole time.
Yeah. But no, everyone had to turn heel and join the NWO.
Yeah, because that was the cool thing to do.
Right. That's not it. Nope.
That's it. Checkboard 3 for accidents. I do like the bond that him and the kid have in this film. Like, that was something like, I didn't like when I'm watching this. Like, I'm like, I want to be Dick Tracy. I don't relate to the kid, but I didn't want him having to go back to the orphanage. Like, I felt bad for him and stuff. But I was more like, I thought they just have a overall, because I always felt like, at the end of this, like, him and Tess would adopt the kid, and they had, they started a family, without telling you. You just kind of feel like that's where it's going. And I found this woman scary. She's here to take the kids, because it makes me think of like being a daycare, being pulled out of my classroom to be put in another one by this ugly lady.
That's an odd random memory.
Well, just like when I say this, like this woman that's not, if it was a very pretty lady that makes you feel comfortable, and this woman just comes here to like feel like she's going to beat him or something like that, like just scares the shit out of you. I like the radios here, like playing this old music. I just like this classic feel to it.
And once again, I like how the lyrics to this song tie into what is going on in the situation.
Christine. It's like Christine. Like all the songs the car plays, like, amplify what's really going on.
Have you ever passed out before?
No, I can't. I've been around people who have, though. When I was working at Wade's one time, one of the cashiers had I think she hadn't eaten, and she passed out right in the office. And for such a small girl, like, she was like picking up a block of lead, like just concrete, like just completely lifeless, and collapsed in the office.
Well, yeah. Dead weight weighs a lot more.
Yeah, and it was a bit unsettling to see something like that. Ugh.
Yeah, no.
But
I'm assuming that. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, I'm assuming that it's. Yeah. Huh. I was never a big fan of oatmeal.
I love it. I eat it every day. Plain, nothing in it, just plain old oatmeal.
Oddly enough, I use that as a username for a lot of things. Plain oatmeal.
Plain oatmeal. I like the look of the hotel lobby in these rooms. They just look cozy to me. I don't know what it is, but I just think I love the simplicity of this small office. You just hang out and read a paper.
And I like this whole setup of, well, I saw him and there's a man in a yellow coat and blah blah blah. Like,
it's a good, and they just plant everything there. And of course, back then too, you don't have the forensics. You just have to go by what you find there and what little evidence is there.
oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be out of there.
Get my Metamucil and get the hell out of there. What if when this door opens up, he shoots the clerk? Just, bam, bam. Well, now he is guilty.
I'm sure that dude just shit his pants.
Yeah. Yeah, gearing up for another fun montage coming up here. There it is. Yeah, I like what I remember as a kid. Like, where the hell is that coming from? Because it looked like it was coming out of his mouth. It was just so odd. I guess that's Mandy's way of trying to add like a distinct kind of abnormality to his character, because all the characters like physically look odd. So add like this goofy ass laugh.
There he is.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah,
Testaverde.
You taught me something new, dude. I did not know that was Testaverde.
Yeah, finally. Turn the tables on you.
Yeah, you did, man.
Turn the tables in a wrong way. In a wrong way.
In a wrong way.
You got me mad now.
So next time when you try to cheat me out of what's mine.
Open Jeff Farmer. Yep. You guys look up that promo on YouTube. Just type in "Jumpin' Jeff Farmer." Yeah. That's all. I like to
think that if you're listening to this, you like wrestling, like old school wrestling, like we do, and you watch Botchamania and you know what we're talking about. But if you don't, have yourself a good laugh for about a minute.
He's in a feud with Motley Cruz.
Yeah, which I saw what he looked like too. I'm like, man, that's one goofy ass looking wrestler.
I want to say their actual matches on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I actually looked that up too. Yeah.
It's quite bad.
It was, yeah, it was. But that on Botchamania was such a memorable segment to open it up. You just kind of feel like, how do you not look up like any more of that? Yeah, I would love to get more and more of these figures and just put them on display because they're such great looking characters, man.
They're cheap. They're not too bad on eBay.
No, they're not. Well, I had the Roten in my basket. I had, I got shoulders over here too, and I had Big Boy, Prune Face. It was just, when you buy a bunch of little things, they add up. And oh my god, internet bills due next week, and I spent all this money on this. I didn't think it was a bad idea. Nathan told me to do it.
Don't blame me for that shit.
Well, Judge said no bail. I like how Charles Durning does like that kind of cliche Irish accent for his cop. We'll be taking you up to the county jail in a little while. And this was a cool moment when he gives him the certificate for his name and he calls himself Dick Tracy Jr. I just thought that was because I like the look on Beatty's face when he sees it, like he's kind of like taken aback, but doesn't want to show too much emotion because I feel like that's the character. Like he wants to maintain that machismo 24/7, and when he sees something like that, he's kind of like, that's cool because he just doesn't know what to say. Yeah, like he sells it pretty good and not saying much. So this dialogue is not a whole lot here, but it conveys so much, and it could have been messed up pretty easily. Because when you have a kid in a movie, as most of us all know, kids can tend to screw up scenes because they don't know, they don't hire like the right kid to act, or they just give them bad stuff to work with. But he does a very, very good job in this film, and they have some good moments together. Now, I want a blank figure, like a 6-inch blank figure, like fully articulated, with a gun. God, that'd be so cool.
I mean, you could probably get a question figure and get Joe to customize it.
Yeah. Joe, how about you do that and throw that out there?
That would probably be the easiest way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of working with him now on, I think we're going to take like the ultimate Michael Myers figure from the new film that came out, and he's going to take that and turn it into a Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason Voorhees. Kind of tossing around that idea.
Well, because if NECA's and the powers that be can make it happen, which you just explained to me. I know.
Just want the figure, damn it. Yeah, I guess. We should have got that blank figure here in the States. I can't believe it was just a Canada only thing, a Canada exclusive.
And still to this day remains like a very expensive item.
Oh,
to get.
yeah.
It's just not something that people are, which kind of makes you feel like if the ones that were put out, like how many were released in Canada and were they all like tossed out and thrown in landfills and only a few people have kept them over the years. They just laugh. And like his lip off to the side there too. Like that's such a great makeup job of the lip pushed off to the left. God, all these.
It was just an act the whole time.
Yeah.
That would be kind of neat if all of a sudden, like, I use a different voice and like, oh, this is how I talk.
Yeah.
All along.
All along.
The voice you've heard, that was never me.
Like all of a sudden you start talking like you're from Jersey.
Ugh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Just like Emily and her fake Boston accent. She ain't from Boston.
Yeah, she said something last night, and I do the thing that always was like, it was a what? And she's like, shut up. Because it does, she lets it slip every now and again.
I think it's awesome. Yeah, to be riding around one of these cop cars like that, where you can hang on this. That's what like the toy cars are so cool because you could put a guy in the car driving and have like guys on the side hanging off of it, firing guns. Like, oh man, I want one. I remember when I watched those commercials, and they had like the city like set like diorama for the figures to be set up on when the kids are playing with. I'm like, I want like a city like background for my. And my dad said he would make like this mock up like city for my Dick Tracy figures, and he never got around to doing it. But. But I remember being excited. Like, oh, my dad's going to make like a city for me to play with my Dick Tracy figures. Oh, it's going to be so cool. Yeah, do yourself a favor. Look up the Dick Tracy toy commercials on YouTube. I think there's a few on there. Check them out, people. So much cool lighting in this film from all the neon light signs in the town. It's Tracy's ding. Elliot starts freaking out here. Get out of here! His hair's flopping around.
Yeah.
Did you have I'm pretty sure I think you had shown me into like the Dick Tracy trading cards. You had those, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah.
I love this card.
And that was a great time as a kid collecting those, the Turtle movie, like
Rocketeer, RoboCop 2, Gremlins 2. They all had trading cards.
They all had trading cards.
Yeah, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves had trading cards. Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter the movie. Like they all. I mean, I was buying trading cards for movies out the ass, man. Like I was just such an addict for that.
The main ones I had: Dick Tracy, Ninja Turtles, Secret of the Ooze, Batman, and Batman Returns. That's sort of where I drew the line with like the movie cards.
Now all those, like if I had access to them, I would try to buy whatever I could. There was a time though, like on Saturday mornings, my dad would want to go visit his brother in Blacksburg, and we would stop at this gas station, the Marathon that just got torn down recently, and he would stop there to buy candy for me and his brother's kids, and would buy me Dick Tracy trading cards for like these consecutive Saturday mornings. I couldn't wait. Like, who am I going to get my wanted sticker? Like, is it going to be flat top? Is it going to be prune face? So I was so excited getting those cards pretty consistently.
Did the Dick Tracy cards come with gum? I can't remember.
Yeah, they had gum. I think most of
them had gum.
Cards, Turtles had gum. Dick Tracy had gum. I don't think Rocketeer and Robin Hood or RoboCop had gum, but I think those did, because those they had that kind of wrap. You know, they didn't have like they had to tear it apart like this. Like the Dick Tracy and Batman cards, they had the peel away wrapper that you kind of break the seal and open it up, and the gum had like that chalky residue on the cards.
Like the gum tasted like shit even back then.
It lost its taste within 5 seconds and would break like shatter in your mouth sometimes if it was a little too old. But it was a fun novelty and extra gimmick to put with the cards. But yeah, a time when so many movies were getting tie-ins for kids from trading cards. That was an exciting thing. I just movies that had trading cards. I couldn't get enough of it. It was a fun addiction, and I'm very thankful I got to experience that joy of cracking up a movie cards to see like what character or what scene or what like hologram or special card you might get. And poor Pat's just left down in there, and you forget all about him. And we are gearing up for my favorite scene in this movie, which, as an adult, man, it's so short. But as a kid, it felt like it was going on for a while, like this gunfight, and cutting back and forth between this and the musical number with Madonna and the girls. It was like, oh, this is badass. Like all these colorful cars, like, oh, I just get so giddy as a kid watching this. Oh man, we're gonna have shootout with Tommy guns, man. It's gonna be awesome. Because back then, like toy guns were I mean, there's still some to a certain degree, but they were so accessible when we were kids.
And a little realistic. Yeah. A little too realistic.
Yeah. But I would play with toy guns quite a bit and try to reenact Rambo or Dick Tracy or any other action film at that time, or G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
In general, it was just fun to try and reenact a lot of the action sequences. Give me that Tommy gun. Like, yeah, here we go, man. Boom! Oh, I get goosebumps every time I watch this. Yeah, it's just it's so cool, man. Oh, as a kid, I about lost. Quietly in my mind, like I'm not saying anything in the theater, but mentally, I'm like, oh, this is unbelievable. I can't hear a damn thing as I'm watching this, but I'm getting excited just watching all this action.
It's all right, man. I can hear all of it.
I mean, I know this movie, backwards and forwards, inside and out, so I know everything that's going on. But it's just so exciting. All these Tommy guns firing all over the place. Gangsters dying left and right. Boom.
I miss the stun explosion in films.
Yeah.
Now they just CG it all.
Yeah, because it looks brighter and cheaper. Yeah. Flat Top and Dick Tracy, that's what I was always waiting to see these guys go at it, man. Oh, he was so alpha, just killing. It turns around there, he kills Itchy right there. And falls out. Oh, man, he's dead. He got him. And this here, oh, God. So cool, man. I used to rewind that brief moment so many times on VHS because I thought it was so alpha. Like, God, he's so cool, man. Just kill Flat just like that. Like, Flat Top to me was like Blade in the live-action He-Man. It was like my favorite bad guy of the whole group, and I couldn't wait to see him and He-Man fight. I couldn't wait to see Dick Tracy and Flat Top fight. I just thought they were so cool. Such a cool rivalry.
And he went down, like, still fire into.
Yeah, like he fought to the end. So cool.
He looks strong.
Yeah, he did, which is the way he should. Because I think in the comics, like he's like one of the more prominent villains too. So he needs to have a strong demise. She's got a wide variety of hairdos, and this is probably my least favorite in this film.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it when she was talking to Dick on the docks, or when she sat down next to 88 Keys singing together. It looks too short, even though it's just pulled back. I just don't like it.
What do you think she was going to say right there instead of saying "good luck"? I love you.
I think she was struggling because I think she's conflicted.
Well, she was going to say something, but she stopped herself and just said "good luck."
Yeah. She probably what it was going to say because, people are dying left and right. He could die during all this. Plus, she's manipulating things too, and you kind of feel like part of her feels conflicted, like she's making progress in getting these gangs taken out. And I love his constant like commentary while he's kidnapping Tess. Betterment gum. I never noticed that. I'm watching the Blu-ray here, and that sign in the background instead of peppermint, betterment gum. That's a cool gimmick. I like that.
It's a little harder to make out the betterment on DVD.
Yeah.
The words kind of, the letters blend together.
Well, yeah, I never noticed it until just now, as many times as I've watched this film. And I watched it all its entirety earlier last year. May have been in the summertime. Last summer, I sat down and watched it on a Saturday night. Had like a double feature of this and something else. I can't remember what it was. And Warren Beatty's fast, too, when he's running. Like the fireworks going on. So cool.
Well, you know, it is the new year.
Yeah.
Since you're...
It's around the holidays.
It's a Christmas movie.
You can get away with watching it at Christmas. No, it's not a flat out like, you know, Lethal Weapon Christmas or Jaws Revenge Christmas. But it does take place at Christmas time.
More like Ghostbusters 2.
No, Ghostbusters 2 has more Christmas going on there.
I disagree.
Well, of course you would. That's the whole point of you on the podcast, is to bust my balls. I imagine this is how Nathan is at work, just constantly like screaming and yelling at people and probably threatening to tie people up. And
no, I keep to myself and then occasionally explode.
It's gone now. Such a memorable animated character. I imagine this is a movie that everybody was in it was probably quite proud of being in it. And
I would hope so.
To it. I can't imagine anybody having anything bad to say about this film, because it looks like everybody had a great time. All the makeup use, everyone's just having fun with the roles, but it's all portrayed and taken seriously. Yeah, because there's a balance of like, yes, there's humor in it, but the overall tone is taking the source material quite seriously. It's dark at times, like right now, like, you know, even though she's just like, God, he won't shut up, and he's like, he's out of his mind, but he's gonna crush her head in clock gears or bridge gears, excuse me, not clock, but. Such great use of shadows here.
Yeah. We've gotten that a lot throughout the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, cinematography, everything was just, you know. Warren Beatty had a great eye for the character and what he wanted, and it's just unfortunate that you know, it didn't do as well as everyone hoped. That way we could have gotten more with the character. Or why Disney just gives us like these bare bone ass releases on home video where they just, here it is. Not even a damn trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, because all it has is the surround sound and language tracks. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. I like how, and he kind of alluded to it. Like he always, it's almost like he always thinks he's having a thought, and he's always got to talk everything out openly to himself to believe in what he's doing.
Yeah. But I also feel like it gives someone like Al Pacino, you're giving him a lot, because you bring on someone like that, you have to maximize his time and effort. And I feel like it's a great use of his performance to give him so much to say and do. Like to nod, it would be like, well, you know, why have him? Why have him be Big Boy Caprice? Like he needs to be so prominent. All this like great punching. Like Warren Beatty does this great, like old, like that shot of being punching in the shadow. Like, oh, that was just very, very cool. Pick up that pipe and get him. Kill him again. I got him. God, we got dead air now. Man. We gotta say something.
We're sucked in the moment.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Like being put in that predicament. Plus, having that bit of silence in between and then hearing like the dun dun.
Yeah.
With it creaking
we're
in.
We're kind of like buying into being in the scene with them. Like, what's going to happen. Which you could say is the kid's fault for the blank getting killed and inevitably killing Breathless. Which I thought, oh man, he's dead. He went over.
There was a lot of that with the main villain like falling off of something tall. We get it in Die Hard. We get it from the Joker and Batman. Yeah, and we get it in this
RoboCop.
Yeah, huh?
It's an epic death for villains.
I mean, it is, but it's kind of funny that was used quite a bit.
Yeah. Like General Kale and Willow, even though he gets stabbed, but he's thrown off the bridge and onto the ground. It's a fitting death that doesn't get excessively gory, so I feel like it kind of conveys the point. No way!
You know, between this and Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, at the end, I definitely had a lot of women that I mean, granted, it's alluded that Catwoman's still around.
Yeah.
At the end of Returns. But what I'm saying is these positions at the end, like as a kid, because I was extremely attracted to her and extremely attracted to Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Yeah, I had a fixation on so many leading ladies in the films of
I was really into blondes as a kid.
I liked them all. You had to have long hair. It could be brown or blonde, and sometimes even redhead or black hair. But it always had to be long hair. I was like, if you had short hair, I'm like, I got no use for you. That was that was my portrayal as a kid.
Damn.
Yeah, I like my women to have long hair. I like Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Oh man, thought she was so hot as a kid. As Maid Marian. But yeah, I liked blondes a lot as a kid. But I liked all women as a kid. I was just all about pretty face and long hair, long legs. The whole package.
You're supposed to shrug your shoulders when you like stoop low when you say that.
How did I stoop low?
I'm saying that's what you need to do. The way that you said it, you kind of sounded like Big Boy there.
Oh. Oh, yeah, it's like kind of hunch over and I'm having
the whole package.
The whole package. Wow. Great ass.
I also like too at these movies back in the day didn't waste a shitload of time on end credits either.
No, it was
like nowadays you go. I guess it's probably because of all the visual effects, but like end credits are 15 minutes long.
Yeah. And it kind of you get this last bit here, kind of wrapping up that everything's going to be all right. They're going to get married, and Dick Tracy's back on the case and doing what he does best, and that's it. It's not dragged out. And
I'm sure he's sitting there though. He's like, man, I probably should have taken advantage of that when I had the opportunity. Now she's dead.
Yeah, dumb Dick. Now this, I was envious of the kid. I'm like, he gets a watch. I want a watch. They do make a great on-screen couple, though.
They do. They make it work.
Yeah. Like, you buy it. Like, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of characters, and they're only given so much time as an on-screen couple to buy into their relationship and how long they've been dating, and will it grow? Will they stay broken up? And you buy into all of it. And his nervousness of trying to pop the question. I like how he tells the kid to shut up here.
What I'm trying to say
is, shut up.
Well, I mean, you see him clearly like rolling his eyes.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Just
even
do
Mike's
it.
like, come on, would you just move along? Yeah, Mike's just like, they all know. All four of them know. But I like that he can't even, he just struggles with it so much. They're all just chomping at the bit. Even as a kid watching this, I was like, oh, come on, man. Do it. Say it. But I like this, that he doesn't come out and say it. The gesture speaks for itself. It kind of breaks him. It breaks his character. Like, he just doesn't. Like, oh, yes. Because he does what he knows how. At least he stops and turns to see her reaction. I like that. And Danny Elfman's score helps sells this. Yeah, it's going to be good. Brilliant.
Then he goes out and gets killed.
Yep. Big Boy came back. He's not dead, man. Look at that. Oh, such great stuff. You got the advertisements on the bell and the train passing through.
And then having the end with the
Dick Tracy font. Yeah.
Yep.
So just beautiful. God, this movie's a masterpiece. Yeah, I want more Dick Tracy toys.
Do it. Blow all your money. Don't pay that internet bill. Who needs the internet?
Yeah. I'll just withhold not doing the podcast, and
there you go. That'll work.
Joke and talk toys for like the next 4 weeks, and it'd be great. I'm sure everyone was like, "It ain't fun listening to you guys talk about the cartoon. Who watched the cartoon? Start up talk about ankle articulation. Damn it!"
And we get Madonna closing out the credits once again.
That is our commentary on Dick Tracy from 1990.
Another commentary down. Another one that went by pretty fast.
Yeah. It's
well, we kind of fell in the same pattern of starting to just watch the movie instead of like talking.
Yeah, but we are talking about the movie. Like we didn't have other than talking about a couple of random things here and there. That's why they're good movies. If they hold our attention the whole time, and we're not really talking about
I really didn't
Roll and Rudy Mills for very long periods of time.
I didn't know Catherine O'Hara was in the movie either.
She plays, and I think that's her. And of course, it's officially confirmed because I just never bothered to check. Because I never noticed it until this actual viewing. Because we're at the time like that looks like Catherine O'Hara, and I was like, well, but you don't. It's not focused on her that much, and she's barely in the film,
right?
So there's another thing I learned brand new right here.
And then, oddly enough, not too long after that, she would have her own massive hit with Home Alone.
Yeah, the same year.
Yeah. But that came out, Home Alone came out like around Christmas time, right?
Yeah, this came out in the summer of 1990, and that was winter, or because the thing came out in November, I think, Home Alone. Or was it?
Shit, I'd have to look it up.
I know it was around Christmas time because I went and saw it like 2 or 3 times in theaters.
November 16th.
Yeah.
1990.
Yeah, so just a few months later, she would be in the number one. That was the number one grossing movie of the year, wasn't it?
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Very, very popular. It still holds up too.
I have not watched that movie from beginning to end, and
I watched it last year. Still holds up. Still good.
does it?
Well, we hope that you guys enjoyed our commentary on Dick Tracy. Sound off down below in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. If you got any of the promotional stuff, all the toys,
McDonald's promos, and
I remember the scratch.
Yeah,
tickets.
That's what I remember the most because the gangsters were on. They had like the
various gangsters. I remember vividly sitting at the play area. It was like a hot ass day, but I had my Happy Meal, and I was ready to do that. And they also got a couple of the scratch offs, and I vividly remember seeing that with the gangsters all being on there.
That was like we got them a few times, but it was. And I remember Dick Tracy. I think he was on all like the cups and the bags you get your food in and stuff. They used the image on a lot of the McDonald's attire for the food and drinks. I remember the commercial too, like the commercial tie-in, which had like this guy playing the ticket and he spins around. He's dressed up like Dick Tracy, and some of the gangsters are even in the commercial too. Like I think the Brow and I think Flat Top are in the commercials. I think so. It was a fun time. I'm thankful to have been, so young at the time and being super excited for this film. And do you remember the Roger Rabbit cartoon that played before this film in theaters?
I do. Was that? Did they include that on the VHS? I can't remember.
No, because that was the thing. I remember when Honey, I Shrunk the Kids had a Roger Rabbit short attached to it, and it was on the VHS. But on when this came to VHS, no, it was not attached, and I have no idea why.
Ridiculous. But yeah, I do remember that
It was even advertised, I think, on TV, like attached to Dick Tracy is the roller coaster. I forgot what the name of it, but it's him and Baby Herman at a amusement park on a roller coaster.
Yep. Good times. Great memories.
It was awesome.
But if you guys remember any of that stuff, leave a comment down below, like the video if you enjoyed it, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified when we go live for not only Capes and Commentaries, but Beyond Retro and Beyond Retro Arcade. Whenever we get around to doing those, download us on Podbean and iTunes. Those links are also down below, and I want to encourage those guys that download us on those platforms, head on over to YouTube, support the channel, give it a sub, hit Joe up for a custom, buy one of his t-shirts, and check out Fans of Power, the He-Man and the Master Universe podcast, hosted by Tyler Baker, Joe Amato, and myself. I almost flubbed your name there.
That would have been funny. Yeah. But people have flubbed my name. For some reason, saying Tyler Baker was hard for people to say at times because they get Travis, Todd, Taylor.
Todd.
Yeah, Hi, Todd. I'm Tucker.
Fuck George Tucker. Tucker sucks.
Yeah. If you let George Carlin stand up, you know what we're talking about.
Right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sure next week we'll probably hit you up with an episode of G.I. Joe.
Yeah, well,
maybe.
we got
pending. Oh, yeah, that's right. Next week. That's right. Next week
I'll be meeting the voice of Destro and April O'Neil and
So I guess instead of an episode in our normal usual time next weekend, maybe I'll kind of do like I did last year, but make it a longer video, but actually take some footage while we're there and piece it all together, figure something out. But definitely more footage of the con because I only got a smidge of that last year.
But when we come back the following week, we will be doing the first episode of Arise, Serpentor, Arise. So we'll be going back to G.I. Joe. So that's the definitive decision, unless we change our mind abruptly. But I think that's what we should plan on when we come back. And we could be on different unusual days because I do have vacation coming up. So maybe we can play around with that and get a few things knocked out or something. You could probably throw in like an extra episode or two while you're off. So yeah. Sounds good. You guys definitely look forward to that. Hope you enjoyed. And until then, we will see you in the future to talk about the past. See you guys next time. Later.